Just a quick disclaimer before starting the video, so you don't start exploding in the comment section. I'm not here to accuse all builder YouTubers of what I'm going to rant about. I'm not saying that everyone steals, that everyone fakes their builds and so on. This is only for a specific type of YouTube short content, and if you're a subscriber to my channel, you already know, and if not, I should tell you that I'm a builder myself and have been one for close to 11 years at this point. You can check out my channel, it's mostly Eastern European buildings now because, you know, I'm actually from there if you didn't realize that from my accent already. But please, understand that this video was not made to call out or to cancel any specific channel on YouTube, but just to open up about how this platform encourages not being original and rewards low quality content, especially in the so-called Megabuild time-lapses part of Minecraft YouTube content. I don't want to run you through all of the history of Minecraft building videos on YouTube. Such things are not necessary. What you need to know to understand what I'm talking about is how these videos are actually made. If you watch Minecraft building content on YouTube, you probably know what I'm talking about. Giant cathedrals, huge castles and super tall skyscrapers, all built in this 3D printer manner for a YouTube short that takes less than 60 seconds. Of course, this is not the actual problem. You can easily use mods like Axiom to get this effect in place, like you see me doing right here. It's just an effect for the video after all. For those who don't know, Axiom is essentially Word Edit on steroids. It turns your Minecraft game into a 3D modeling program, and your buildings into assets you can change at will with a few buttons, without having to deal with manually placing and building blocks. This mod, along with Litematica or even the ancient Word Edit, introduces asset downloading and editing into Minecraft, which I will talk about later. However, this is still building. If someone builds something with Axiom and then saves that schematic with Litematica, it's still their build. So don't get me wrong, I'm not accusing people of faking their builds with a simple tool. That's like saying that we shouldn't use excavators when we have shovels. The problem arises when you actually question yourself, how can a content creator build and upload time-lapses of structures the size of the Sagrada Familia or the Pentagon every 2 or 3 days without stopping? Like, I don't know, doesn't that feel a little sketchy? There's this channel that used to upload a lot like a year ago. They used to create giant variants of common buildings and objects, and the builds in question looked a little weird, like they weren't actually built. They looked like they were just sourced 3D assets from the internet and pasted into Minecraft with various sites using the aforementioned mods. And guess what? The same assets can be found in Sketchfab or any of these 3D model sites, and many of them are free to download. They are actually quite fun to play with. Maybe some 3D modelers would get mad at people stealing their asset and using them in their games, but maybe some wouldn't. Still, I think any 3D modeler would get mad if someone were to take that asset and promote it on YouTube as their own, when the creator of the actual asset could do that themselves, just not in Minecraft. And remember that these videos are not made for the looks. With millions of views you can get quite a bunch of money. But how much? Well, another similar channel took a Sketchfab asset of a pretty well-known stadium from the real world, pasted it in Minecraft with minimal changes and uploaded it. That video managed to get 20 million views. If you don't know how YouTube views work when it comes to money, 1 million short views essentially equate to about $200. So for 20 million views, we should have about $4,000. It might not sound much for some, but it's still money. It's not something you can just throw around. And if you're from a third world country like me, it's quite the wage for half a year. All from a video that can be created when you're bored in an afternoon. You know, when posting and building stuff myself, people would usually ask me in the comments to build various other buildings. One of these buildings was requested quite a bunch by my subscribers, and I eventually thought about building it. So I was searching on YouTube to see if someone else actually built it before me, and found nothing. Of course, I was happy with this result because it meant that I would be the first to create it. Or so I believed. After some more browsing, I found the building completely finished, done perfectly in 1:1 scale on Planet Minecraft. I would have been the first on the internet, but I would be the first on YouTube to build it if I were to take it and upload it as my own. All I had to do was download it and record me building it and get a couple of millions of views, right? No, I'm not gonna steal someone's work. Maybe they wouldn't find out, maybe my subscribers wouldn't care, but how would I feel about doing it? Isn't it obvious? Why me as a builder, just like them, would want to steal someone's work and upload it as my own? Because YouTube, that's why. When you start your YouTube journey, you're just thinking to yourself, oh, I'm gonna be so unique, I'll be the only one making this type of content on YouTube. Maybe, maybe not. And then, as a Minecraft example, you start building your original stuff. You start uploading many videos, many original builds that look cool to you. But you wait and wait and wait and still end up with like 50 views max. The truth is, what people care about is not exactly what you like to build. Few people will care about your wooden cabin, your temple of I don't know, or a castle from whatever obscure movie, even if you like those things a lot. You want to fix that. So you check up on other people who are doing similar things to you and think, oh wow, these guys made some pretty popular building videos, but I can't copy them, they are already covering their topic of builds. I can't just take their builds and upload it as my own. I don't even like to build this stuff. How long is that gonna last, really? After a few weeks of 0 views, you give up and start to build like them. You try out one of these generic structures and get famous. Good job, little builder. It's your build, you made it, and it got quite popular. But you need to keep up the momentum, or else YouTube is gonna flatline your channel. But you can't realistically build that much so fast. You can't keep up with other people doing the same thing. So what do? Just take other people's famous buildings, of course. Whatever is the most popular thing at the moment, you take that and claim it as your own. You don't even have to build it. It's just an asset, you just insert it into Minecraft. A word download. They can go a long way. You might be accused of stealing by some, and your video is so generic that it will be forgotten in a few weeks. But it doesn't matter, because you kept that momentum going for those few weeks. And you managed to get millions of views and quite some cash. So you keep doing that. One time-lapse YouTuber builder I follow for a while reposted the same video 3 times, and I actually mean the same video, the same building, the same time-lapse, the same title, the same music, everything except for the angles of the time-lapse, which were adjusted with replay mode so their videos will not be flagged as reused content. This didn't happen once, as he also reposted other videos while keeping the old ones up. What were those builds? Very famous ones, stuff that you can find to download easily on the internet. Stuff that is so common that you're gonna get views for it even if you don't want to. And people are doing this over and over, just flooding YouTube with these repetitive builds. And the problem is not that, there are different people building different stuff. No, they're exactly the same build, like the same asset. They don't even care to change anything. The saddest part is that these people, from what I've seen, actually used to build some pretty nice stuff. Yes, it took them weeks or months for them to actually build them, but they did it on their own. However, they stopped doing it when they saw that pretty much nobody was watching those videos, and now they just create these low quality fakes. And YouTube encourages being generic, being unoriginal. They encourage it, they know that these generic assets get the views and the money, and they are gonna promote them. That's how it works. Really, how many of the builds you see being posted on YouTube were actually built by the YouTuber, tool assisted or not? And how many of them were just downloaded or converted assets that were stolen from other games, from other people, or just the wide internet? We wouldn't know because they don't even respond to the comments on these videos that are being faked. They don't care about the builds in the first place. They just use them for the views. You will see them uploading a video and then maybe giving a heart or two, but not giving any replies and leaving hundreds of comments unanswered, which doesn't even make sense to me as a content creator, who does the same things. Like, you really want to do YouTube, you have fans, why don't you listen to them, why don't you respond to them? Maybe because they can't, because they probably know nothing about the build shown in the video. They are just the uploader anyways. The builder could be some faraway Chinese dude who last posted something online 5 years ago and is not active on YouTube. He wouldn't know about these videos. And it's not just the videos, the channels of these fake builders just look mass produced, as you can barely find any info regarding anything they like to build or built in the past on their page. Maybe just a Patreon link that directs you to where you can buy their so-called builds, which aren't even theirs in the first place. But who cares if they stole the builds, right? Those brain-rotted kids surely would never find out. Or would they? As I was saying before, there are people pointing out in the comments that these buildings were not actually built by these content creators. But of course, this does nothing to actually stop these people. But maybe YouTube can do something about it. I think the algorithm really lacks that fundamental drive to stop reuse content, and is instead activated by the most trivial stuff like me replying thank you 2 times. As long as YouTube itself promotes this kind of content, people are gonna be copycats forever. Because this is what gets the views and ultimately the money. And obviously for most people, this is the reason they post videos, and for YouTube, its entire existence. My opinion is quite clear: YouTube shouldn't allow you to upload the same video many times. When it comes to the stolen buildings though, there isn't really much to be done. Maybe it's easy to recognize when someone steals from a well-known builder, but most builders don't have a following, so they'll just be forgotten before saying a word about their build being stolen, if they even find out it was stolen. This really is just up to the morals of the content creator. I mean, just think about it: you're a builder, you like to build, you like your builds, you post them to YouTube, but you don't post often enough. So you steal other people's builds to compensate for that. Is that fair? Do you sleep better at night knowing that fans in the comments congratulate you for something you didn't create? I think we should really appreciate the authentic builders we have in this community. For example, one not so known mega builder and YouTuber that I like is Iron Man Veronica. I actually built this cathedral by their tutorial videos, and I must say it's really impressive to see someone actually build block by block for you to follow something so massive and imposing. This is the actual building on YouTube that YouTube should actually promote. There's not really much else to say on the matter, because this phenomenon that plagues the Minecraft community is just part of the larger decay of YouTube quality content. And as long as such repetitive and morally wrong content will be promoted, channels like this will continue to arise. It's as simple as that. I think that's enough talking. I'll just leave you here with this Labubu Twin Towers that I made in like 5 minutes by downloading some schematics. Yeah, it's Labubu, and it's the Twin Towers. Yeah, I think this will get the views.